everyone, it's your favorite farmer farm with IJ, and as you all know, we are now habanero field. I know it's been a while. I gave you guys an update on this habanero field. I know the last time I came here, this place was very small. I guess like 2 or 3 days after transplanting, that was when you last saw this plant transplanting, and you could see how they are. I'm really sorry that I have not actually taken you all on the journey so far, but currently these plants are about 5 weeks now, and they are currently flowering very well. Yeah, they are blooming. But around last week we had issues with pests, like obvious issues with pests, and the particular pest we had issues with was thrips. Yeah. So most of our plants, I'm going to attach a video of how the plants were looking last week. Most of our plants were shrinked, like you see some white streak lines on them. Yeah, so sometime last week we had issues with thrips, and you know that we are working in the open field, because sometimes controlling pests in the open field has to be one of the very difficult things to do. Yeah, but hopefully we'll be able to take care of the plant, yeah, in the course of the week. And thank God they've actually come back. And the bad thing is that even when your plants or your farm is infested with thrips, it's evident on the flowers. The flowers are not going to be blooming, they're not going to be so white, they're going to be pale. You're going to notice that your flowers are not healthy enough. Yeah, so it affects the flowers, it affects the leaves, and when it has started fruiting, yeah, it also has a thing to do with the fruit. The fruits are not going to be so, yeah, the fruit shape are going to change. So that is the good thing about making sure that your farm is pest free. I know doing in the open field is kind of difficult, but yeah, it's doable. So that is what we have been on since we actually pruned the plants 2 days back, and very soon we're going to be staking these plants to see how well they are doing. Yeah, so pretty much that's the little update of this particular field. So let's get into what we actually have to do today. What do we have to do today? Let me actually say, or let me tell you some practical steps to take whenever you spray, to know that whatever you sprayed worked. Or if you're having a particular issue in your farm, or you're having pest infestation in your farm, let me tell you what to do like a day or 2 days after spraying, to guarantee if what you sprayed will actually worked, or you need to respray, or you need to change whatever you're spraying in case those pests has actually gotten resistant to that particular active ingredients. Yeah, so after spraying your plants, when you know that there's a pest infestation in your plant, remember, spraying is best done in the evening time, because if you do the spraying in the morning time, by that time the activities of this pest are not very high, you get. So if they are not high, if you spray at that particular time, you might not actually capture the culprit when they are at work. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, so although they are available once your farm is infested, at every point in time you come, you're going to see it. But there are times when the activities are very high, which is usually in the evening and in the night time. So the best time to spray has to be in the evening time, first of all, when the weather is calm. Because if the weather is too hot, or you spray in the morning and later in the evening, it happens that later in the afternoon, it happens that the sun comes out, most likely whatever you sprayed might actually burn your plant. But in the night time or in the evening time, when the weather is calm, you can spray, and by that time the pests are already at work. You're going to get them red-handed. Yeah, so that is it. After spraying in the evening time, the next day you are meant to come back in the morning and come and look at your flowers where you saw those pests yesterday. Come and take a look at it and check if, for example, when you came yesterday the activities were like they are very fast. If you come the next day, you're supposed to see that the activities has actually slowed down. they're not going to be very, very fast because those ingredients are actually working on them. Yeah, so the activities are not going to be so fast. And secondly, they are going to reduce. If, for example, you saw like 5 of them, the next day you might see 4, 3, or even none. Yeah, so that is how to actually know if what you sprayed has worked, because you know, as at your time of spraying, you know that you have old leaves. You can take pictures of of how the plants were looking before. Like, you can come back after a week to compare the two pictures if there's actually a difference in the two pictures. Yeah, so if you after spraying, you can take pictures, or sorry, when the plants are infested, you can take pictures of the plant and look at the flowers and everything. Make sure you have a detailed you have a detailed information about a particular plant or that particular space. If you have a big or a huge land mass like this, you can use one plant as a case study. Yeah, so that plant that you saw that issue, you come back to it the next time to check if it has actually improved. How will you know if your plant has improved from the last time up until now? So I'm going to show you practically how to know if your plant has improved from the last time you saw it, and how to compare the pictures from the last time you saw it up till the present time. The difference can be there in like in a week time or in 2 weeks time. So come, let me show you how to actually identify if your plants are, recuperating, if they are healing from the infestation pest. This last week, I noticed that the infestation of thrips were really high here. Like for me, even without the lens, I can actually spot pests, especially thrips, because I know what it is, I know what it looks like, I know how they move and all. So most times I just use this in case, because aphids are way tinier and some other pests are way tinier than the thrips. So I usually use the magnifying lens. But sometime last week, I'm going to attach the video of this particular plant or this particular ridge entirely. Yeah, this particular ridge entirely. I'm going to attach the video for it from last week up until today. So let's analyze this particular plant. Yeah, so sometime last week, these were the new leaves, or the very tender leaves of this plant. These pests actually feed on the very, very tiny leaves, because those are the juiciest. So those are the ones that they feed on. This is where the effect of the plant comes on. So sometime last week, these were the tender leaves of this particular plant. You can see the tender leaves, you can see what they look like. You can see these were the tender leaves of what they looked like. You can see that they were coiled. You could see these white streaks on them. you could see these white streaks on them. Yeah, so here too, you could see that these were the leaves from last week. You could see these white streaks on them, which shows, or the white patches, which shows that there were thrips infestation in this particular place last week. But coming to this week, you are going to see what you see. My hand, Abby, I see my hand. Okay, you can see what this particular plant looks like this week. This is the new leaves of this week. You can see that there are no white streaks on them. Their leaves are not like shrinked, they are not folded. You can actually see how they look like, and you can even see that you can see how they look. Even the quality of the flower and the production of the flower actually increased because of the activities of the pests, or the thrips is not as much as it was last week. So let's use a flower and see if what we are saying is actually true, because about last week, we could see more than 5 inside the flower. I was scared. I was scared last week. Yeah, so we could actually see more than 5. The activities were very, very high last week. Yeah, so this particular plant is already fruiting. Yeah, this one is already fruiting. So very soon we are going to be harvesting this particular place. So let's look at this particular plant. So look at this. You can see that they still have the activities, but you can just spot only one here. You can spot only one here. Okay, let's progress to how we actually tackled these thrips in our farm. First of all, there are two ways to tackle this thing, two most effective ways to tackle these thrips. The first one has to be by regulating or by breaking or stopping the reproduction of this particular pest. And one of the most active or one of the most common anti-feedant and regulator or even repellent of this pest has to be the neem striker, which has an active ingredient of azadirachtin. This particular pesticide works by actually stopping the feeding of this pest and also stops the growth of this pest. And by stopping the growth of this pest, it also stops the reproduction of this particular pest, which is thrips. Then after using your neem striker, in the next 2 days, by that time the pests, they've already slow down in their reproduction, you can move to using abamectin. Yeah, abamectin is an active ingredient. Abamectin works by targeting the nervous system of this pest and paralyzing them. Yeah, so after 2 days of doing your neem striker, you can go ahead to do the abamectin. But there's something you should always point out, or something you should know, that this pest actually grow resistant to any of these pesticide or any pesticide at all. The best bet for you when you're trying to control pests has to be to rotate your pesticide so the pest does not grow resistant to the particular pesticide you are using. And to get the best result, you can use other active ingredients, to rotate with but just make sure that you are incorporating neem striker, abamectin, and the rest. This practice is actually going to keep these pests very much under control, and your plants are going to thrive very well. This week, actually happy that there've been so much improvement in this particular place. You know that feeling that what you've actually done, or that feeling that your effort was not in vain. That is the feeling I have at the moment. That is the feeling I have at the moment right now. So I don't have to take all the credits to myself. I also have to give credit to my workers that actually sprayed and how much they sprayed, because there are some specific ways of spraying this pest. You need to look out for their hiding places, just like the flowers, under the leaves and all that. I didn't do the work. So I also give credit to my workers that actually put in the work, because they made sure that when we have to spray at the right time, we have to check the plants at every point in time to know if our pest has the pest has grown resistant to it or not. You can see this particular one, there's no there's thrips here. Just one. We can even see just one in this particular place. You can see just one here. So that is how well the plant has come up. This one doesn't even have any thrips at all. They don't even have it at all. So as time, we are still going to be treating the farm as much as the infestation is very, very high, so that we are going to drastically curb the infestation of the pest in this particular farm. So this is it, and this is it too. This one doesn't even have a thrips at all. So And you can see that these flowers, they are wide, they are white, they are not pale, which shows that the flowers are actually healthy. Yeah, so this shows that the flowers are, and you see how much they opened. You know that the plants, or they are not so much disturbed by the pest. So this is a quick reminder to let you know that our class is going to be coming up by the end of this month. Do well to register for this class, and you're going to be glad you did so. Yeah, so I just hope you've learned something from this video, and I hope to come here to give you updates on this particular space of land. It was nice having you here today, and I hope you actually come back here for more videos like this. Do have a lovely, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and do have a lovely day. Bye.